Three, two. Let me just pull this up real quick. Hey, Khoa, so talk to us about insurance. Tell me one or a couple methods or suggestions that will help with maneuvering and guide us through the insurance game.
Insurance. So I think last we talked it was about claims for denied claims from insurance companies. My
Mm-hmm.
number one thing would be to say, don't take it personal. A lot of times we get frustrated because they deny it, but for me, the clinician that is reviewing the claims really is just looking for enough information so that they can deny or approve. Um, what I like to do whenever I get a denied claim is I like to call the insurance company and actually talk to an agent. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they will explain the reason for the denial a lot better than what is given on the EOB. And I feel like 9 out of 10 times, if I address that agent, I'm going to get an approved claim for payment or partially approved, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
it's doesn't come back approved for, let's just say 43, 41, for example, but it comes back with 43, 42, something like that, that's still a win in my book because I'm getting something paid versus nothing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So then let me ask you that. When you get something partially approved, how do you approach the patient?
Tell them directly. A, a lot of times we have a lot of anxiety on how to approach a patient, and that digs a deeper hole for me, in my opinion, at least. It, you're going to deal with a lot of frustrated patients saying, oh, how come this and how come that? But if you just let them know that that's what the insurance company decided, they're going to take their beef with the insurance company.
Gotcha. So they just go with the insurance company, talk to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So give us instructions on how to do this. So like we want to call them right pretty immediately, or like do we do y'all like make all the claims at the end of the day? How does that work?
Yeah. So in our office, we batch all of the claims every day. We try to send them within 24 hours. It just depends on how much manpower you have, so to speak. My suggestion would be trying to tackle each insurance company at a time. Get all of the claims within, I don't know if you want to organize it as 30, 60, 90 days. From there, pick each insurance company and try to knock it all out at once. So if like you're calling MetLife, you want to get all the patients with MetLife claims, and get it addressed and then move on to Cigna or Delta Dental, for example. I
Mhm.
think a lot of times you're going to get put on hold when you're trying to get through. So when you get through, you want to try to maximize your time with them.
Yeah. So like for example, do you do that? You batch it all in a day or in a week? Because like for example, let's just say this week you realize like, damn, we got like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 denied claims from MetLife, and then everyone was like maybe on a Monday, then a Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I mean? It's not like
No,
Monday,
so
Tuesday.
so you send out claims every day. You
Mhm.
receive payment every day. So my philosophy is you want to try to appeal claims as you're sending out the new claims. Um, we've been very fortunate that we've got our 90 days down to like 3 claims outstanding. Like our outstanding claims 90 for the 90 days is like 3 outstanding claims, and we know exactly where that is. This check got sent to the patient, so it's just a matter of following up with them. It just gets a little suffocating if you don't try to keep up with it. If you can keep up with it on the front end and allow it to back up when you have emergencies, people not showing up or whatever the reason is, it's a lot easier to maintain.
Gotcha. Okay. So then that's the process, right? Any backlash that we might get from this when it comes to like from the agents or anything like that?
From the agent, what do you mean?
Or agents, or for example, like the team
Oh, the
member.
insurance agent.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, so the insurance agent, they're depending on the company, they're gonna let you know, like, oh, hey, I can only answer questions for 5 patients or
Mhm.
whatever it is, right? I think I ran into that back in the day. Was Cigna only allowed me to ask information for 5 patients, and they only provided 5 codes or whatever. But then, I kind of made a system for it. It's like, oh, Cigna, I'll call first thing in the morning and ask about those 5 patients, and I'll go to MetLife, who's gonna let me ask about all the patients I have on my AR.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, man. Because of this process, have you dropped any insurances?
No, we haven't made that plunge yet. We It's something that we're going to work towards though. Um, you know, insurance is, I look at being in network with insurances as kind of using them as a marketing technique. You're getting the exposure to their network while you're taking a lesser fee. So depending on how you think about it, you can say, hey, I'm paying for marketing or I'm taking a loss.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what it mainly is, like a forever long kind of coupon thing, right? You know what I mean? As long as
Yeah.
the patient's there. Okay. So then we batch it all, right? We call them depending on the insurance company. Um, However many they let us do. After that process, if we get it partially approved, we talk to the patient, right? And we
Mhm.
let them know. Hopefully that conversation goes good. If it's 100% approved, then that's great, right? We
We
don't have
keep on
to,
moving.
yeah, we keep on
Right.
moving. If it's not approved and you're like, are you looking at what I'm looking at? What happens
Yeah.
there?
That's the question. That's the question is a lot of times you're thinking that you're framing the claim a certain way, and the clinician that's looking at it sees it differently. So if you can get on the same page with them, it makes the process a lot easier. You don't take it personally and you just come up with an open mind. They're going to say, okay, these are the things that I'm missing. Can you provide that? If we're doing our due diligence up front, we're taking x-rays, doing perial probing, like everything that a clinician needs to do to properly diagnose, then you're most likely going to have that information. You just got to provide it the correct way.
Gotcha. So what is I guess, what is the best way to frame a claim, and that you provide it the best way where you're not overdoing it, doing too much, and then you confuse the agent or the insurance company?
Yeah, I don't have that art form for you just yet. Yeah. I
But
would love to.
yeah, is there anything where it's like, okay, this might be too little what you're providing? That's why you keep getting denied.
I really listen to the software that we use whenever we're sending out claims. It'll say, oh, hey, this particular claim associated with these codes are going to need this information. I'll give you some examples. Like for our SRP, anytime we send it to the clearinghouse, it'll say you need to do a perial chart and X-rays, extraction before and after X-rays. So those are just guidelines that I see that's normal. So I'm
Mhm.
not. I don't know any better.
Gotcha. All right, man. So then, any other advice that you can give us when it comes to approaching an appeal for insurance claims?
I think we hit on the main topics. My suggestion would be trying to verify the patient's benefits before you actually see them. That will relieve a lot of stress. And then you can always use that benefit breakdown that you got as kind of a weapon whenever appealing. I think we spoke about that. And anytime I get a denial that says, oh, this was not covered, and I look at the breakdown, it says, oh, yeah, the agent on this day and this time said it was covered, then I'm more than likely going to get that overturned and approved, or get a downgrade, which is still better than nothing.
Yeah. So then, how do you, for example, when it comes to a patient that calls a new patient and they're like, yeah, I want to get something done, I have an emergency or something, or they just walk in and they have an emergency, right? Do you like stop them and say, wait, man, let me check your insurance? Or you kind of like start, let me go see you in the back and let's get this insurance handled? And
We'll tell them the process. We'll say, hey, look, we need you to fill out the new patient paperwork. If they provide insurance, we're going to say, hey, look, your insurance, we haven't verified the benefits yet, so we don't know if today's visit is going to be covered. And I don't know if this is proper or not, but we've begun taking like the deposit up front. That way, they're kind of more invested in making sure that we get their information correctly. A lot of times we run into issues like, oh, they gave me the information to their medical insurance versus dental
hmm,
insurance, and then we're scrambling looking for it. And then whenever the exam's ready, we're scrambling trying to provide them with a quote or a breakdown for their treatment, and we don't have the correct numbers. So we just say, hey, look, these are going to be the numbers. As soon as we get to verify your insurance information, then we'll be able to be more accurate. Haven't
hmm,
really had much pushback.
on that. Yeah. Do you plan to do
Yeah.
medical billing in the future or no?
We do for sleep apnea,
Oh, you guys do
and
sleep apnea?
that's a whole new beast.
Wow, man, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Real quick. So you're the owner of Verifixed, right?
yeah.
Okay. So
I'm one
what's
of
that
the
all
owners of
about?
Verifix, yes, sir. So what we do is we have agents that actually call um, and verify the patient's benefit information as soon as our agents get the information from the office. So I kind of have a cheat mode, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. As we get our agents to verify all of our patients' insurance. Every 6 months, we get them to do an eligibility check. So we'll check like the recall codes, and then if there's anything that might be important for that visit, we just want to make sure that the patient's plan is active. Sometimes people leave their jobs or get fired, and the plans aren't active anymore, but it seems like it is.
Yeah. So then Verifix would be for what type of practice?
Any practices that takes PPO, HMO, Medicaid, things like that. I think we'll verify anything as long as it makes sense. A lot of states I know, like the Medicaid, they can just go into a portal and get the most up to date information. So it wouldn't make sense to, incur an additional charge for that verification.
Hmm. Do you guys take like a percentage or how do you charge?
Yeah, we charge by the verification. So if it's a new full breakdown, it's a certain price. Partial is going to be cheaper. Same day verification is going to be more expensive.
How much are same day verifications?
I don't have a price off the top of my head. I would address that to anybody that's getting a demo from us. I'd say anything from $12 to $15.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. If you mention the podcast episode though, you get no, just
Oh man, let's do
You're
that
like,
then.
no, I appreciate it, man. So then, real quick, any other specific piece of advice when it comes to this, or we pretty much got it all down?
I think we hit the majority of it. So if anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Awesome. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions, you can definitely find them on the Dental Marketer Society Facebook group, or where can they reach out to you directly?
They can reach out to me at info@verifix.net.
Awesome. All right. So that's going to be in the show notes below, guys. And thank you for being with me on this Monday
All right.
morning marketing episode.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. You have a good one.